Whoa, this is too close. You can see my pores and imperfections. Oh, it seems like a healthy distance. Right there. The other day, my friend broke my period of self-isolation, and she really cracked up when I told her something. I told her that we were having this conversation about doing things and like feeling that, time just goes so quickly and we don't know where the time has gone. So I told her that what I do is I try to put everything, like most things, at least 50% of things, into my calendar. So I know what I'm doing. And I know that when I look back at it, if I'm thinking, oh, I wasted all my time, I look back and I'll be like, oh, I did something. There it is. And she really cracked up at that. I think I told it in a funnier way probably back then. But, I was just thinking how often when we measure our success with others who we perceive to have more success, we feel that we are falling short. However, do we ever stop to think about all the obstacles that we've overcome, about all the growth that we've done? And that growth doesn't necessarily lead to tangible results immediately. But if we have become a better person, if we have grown, if we have had, epiphanies or reflections that have changed our outlook on life for the better, and which has helped us grow as a person and made us character stronger, then isn't that a good marker of success as well? I think it's so important to not fixate on what other people have, and it's very easy to do that when you look on social media and you see that X person is living the dream life and Y person has also achieved a dream life in another way, and X, Y, Z. And I know a lot of people are now becoming a lot more real on social media, and they're showing like the not so glamorous sides of their lives as well. But still there is this sense that if X person's achieved this, I'm not anywhere near where they are in their lives. However, like I said, we need to kind of take a breather there, look at ourselves and look at our lives, and even just make some notes on the things that you've accomplished, that you've achieved, and then you can compare yourself to that person. Have they walked the same path that you have? Most likely they haven't. Everyone's on their own path. Some paths are, all paths are on different timelines. So some paths are harder now compared to others. Others are going to get harder later. And we just don't know what's around the corner. So I think it's really important, and I touched on this in my last video, that it's really important to be grateful for where we are now in the present, and to try and embrace our reality as it is, confront the things that we are feeling, the roadblocks, the obstacles, the negative emotions, the feelings, the toxic triggers, anything that it is that's getting in the way. It's such a good idea to try and confront them rather than just escaping. Sometimes escaping is good as well. I'm not saying that, you shouldn't go and watch a film and shouldn't, go for a hike or whatever helps you to, kind of manage and cope with the realities of every day. Those things are good and those things can be healthy. But at the same time, we should be facing our fears and facing the obstacles that we might have in our way. And also we shouldn't try and idealize and see that, it's very important that we don't see that the grass is greener on the other side, because it might not be. I remember, just like many of the girls, when, they're little kids, and when I was a little girl, I used to think, oh, I want to be a princess. I used to watch Disney, watch all these fairy tales. I think, I want to grow up and I want to be a princess too. And, and now, a few years ago, I remember watching a video from Princess Latifah, and this is actually really sad, actually. She's from the UAE, and she's in the, in this billionaire household where, she has everything, perceivably, except freedom. So she made a video and she talks about that, and she talks about how she's tried to escape and she couldn't. And, her sister did as well, her biological sister, Shamsa. She also tried to escape in 2020 and she couldn't. She got caught and she got sent back. So I think she was in London at the time. she got sent back to the UAE, and the same thing then happened to Latifa. She was she was captured in the Indian Ocean and sent back to the UAE. And I just think that, you know, you can look at their lives and think they've got it all. You know, they've got all the riches that they want. They've got fame if they want it, and this, that, and the other. But actually, they were prisoners in their own homes. And if they wanted to, they could have just kept up with that facade. They could have, you know, just lived that way of life and enjoyed it the way that most other members of that family may be enjoying it. But they wanted freedom, they wanted authenticity, they wanted to live like every other normal person who gets choices about where they want to go, what they want to do, the freedom of speech, to be able to say what they want to say, and they didn't get that. We shouldn't be allowing ourselves to feel put down by the illusion of what could be or what is for other people, because we don't know what their silent sufferings are. However, this should not stop you from dreaming. Like, definitely dream, and dream as big as you can, and always keep striving. Just don't let your current position make you feel down because you have not got to, you know, X destination or wherever. You know, you need, just try and be easy on yourself, be kind to yourself, take things like one step at a time, and, you know, just remember how far you've come. You've come a long way. You've overcome things and you've seen things that other people haven't. Maybe there are things that you could talk about with other people, but they just won't get it because they've not been in your shoes. But it's led to your growth. It's led to a growth in your character, and it's made you a better person, and, you know, it's made you a more capable person. There might be things that you can uniquely offer to the world now that you weren't able to do before because you've had that difficult experience. So yeah, don't let the illusions of the world fool you, because some people may seem to have it all, but they might not. And some people who do genuinely have it all, you know, Allah says in the Quran that there are some people who are destined for hell, but they have everything that they want in this life, and it's an enjoyment just for a little while. So if some people are like super filthy rich, you know, we don't need to aspire to have that. We can want to be rich. There's nothing wrong with that. You can want to be rich, but you don't need to have to be, you know, filthy rich. You don't have to have billions to lead a really successful, inspirational, influential life. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to do in this video, just like a little reminder of all of that. And it's just something I've been thinking about. It's been something I've been thinking about, and I wanted to comment on it. And also, just on the point on the princesses, those two were not the only princesses either that have gone through the ordeal that they've gone through. I mean, you can find videos. There's a video which Latifa herself filmed, and it's on YouTube, and I think it's about 7 years old. I remember watching it back then and just being stunned at the things that she was saying, and I knew from how she said it that there was truth to what she said. And then I did actually sort of look around read more into this subject and read other like articles and things that were said, and I still believe that what she said was true. But she's not the only one. You know, there are other princesses even in Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure I can remember their names right now. I think it's like Hala, and there was another princess, those two girls. They also were imprisoned. It's been very messy. But yeah, these stories are out there. And so, yeah, if you want to be a princess, rethink that ambition. You know, there are definitely better things to chase out there, or better things to attract. Once you are in full alignment and you become the person that you want to be, then you will, you know, a lot of things will become easier. The resistance will decrease. The resistance of your path towards that target will decrease, and things, you know, doors will start to open. I truly believe that, and I've seen it happen. So I know it happens. Even though I'm like very scientifically trained, and everything, you know, has to have tangible evidence. Because I've seen miracles, because I am Muslim as well, and I have that strong belief, which is actually rooted in evidence, by the way. You know, I don't believe that I was a product of evolution. I believe that I was carefully designed. And, you know, when I look outside in nature, I see beautiful design, artistic design. I see intelligence. I see intelligence in everything in nature. I see intelligence within the organs of my body. I don't believe it's just my brain that's intelligent. I believe, yeah, all my organs have intelligence and my cells have intelligence. And that's why they know how to operate and what to do. And yeah, anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.